on to the main event. Let's commence the speeches. I call upon Master Ayam to give away his benign thoughts on the topic, soft skills and etiquette.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today I am here to speak and share my thoughts on the topic soft skills and etiquette. First of all, what are soft skills? Soft skills are those qualities that apply to a variety of jobs and life situations. They are the bridge between schoolwork and life skills. People develop soft skills by socializing, interacting with each other, and learning the values. Now I'm going to share some soft skills that we at this age must possess, because middle school is the foundation, the learning center, the battleground for knowing how to make better choices in the future. First, effective communication, written and oral. We should help ourselves develop communication skills through practice in writing, taking part in group discussions, and presenting to a group. Of course, this is something that most kids get exposure to in school. And I think IISJ Talks is the best platform for this. Second, trustworthiness. It means being reliable, to do what you say you will do, to have the courage to do the right thing. And this sounds easy, but the problem comes when we have to do it practically. How can we? We can. We can by telling the truth, means being honest. We can by keeping our word. We can by returning the things we had borrowed. We can by keeping private information private. And this does not happen overnight. We will have to model it every day. Third, teamwork. It is the ability to collaborate and accomplish things faster with the help of others. It develops stronger relationships and trust among each other. And this is an important value to be learned by our modern day society. Fourth, responsibility. Responsibility for me is the most important value to be learned. Because no one can succeed in life without being responsible. I repeat, no one can succeed in life without being responsible. With responsibility, we develop our self-esteem and self-worth. Without responsibility, we will leave things under and get in trouble. Therefore, it is an important value to be learned. Coming to the second part of the topic, etiquette. Now we are familiar with what etiquettes are, but why do we need them? Why do we need etiquettes? We need them because it helps us show respect and consideration to others and makes others glad that we are with them. Without proper manners and etiquette, the customs of polite society will soon disappear, and we will act more like animals and less like humans. I think at this age, we must just implement the basic etiquettes, which include table manners, cell phone etiquette, and greeting others. Even a young child can understand what table manners are, like placing a napkin on his lap, talking politely, and eating neatly. And being teenagers, we should practice cell phone etiquette, which includes setting a cell phone to vibrate or silent when in public or with others. Also understanding that greeting someone includes smiling, making eye contact, and of course shaking hands. But what if a teen lacks an understanding of basic etiquette? While he might feel uncomfortable in social situations. According to the information provided by the new Russian city schools, with this discomfort, the teen might feel embarrassment and timidity that puts him at a disadvantage. It's also possible that the teen could attempt to compensate for his discomfort by acting out in inappropriate or offensive ways. And just like the great Clarence Thomas once said, etiquette will open doors that the best education cannot. Thank you.
Invite Master Ahmed of 91 to speak on the topic, violent video games should be restricted or banned.
Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today I, Ahmed of class 9B1, stand before you to speak on the topic violent video games should be banned or restricted. Video games provide a great time pass for the children. These games are so many and so addictive that when a child is not controlled, he is not able to concentrate on his studies. By saying this, I would like to talk about violent video games. What are actually violent video games? These games are those games which attract you towards them. We can see nowadays students are playing too much games. If a child learns how to play chess at a tender age, he shows the signs of high levels of intellect, isn't it?
Yes.
Violent video games makes the child not to concentrate on his studies. Means that he is not going to home and study. However, violent video games can affect the child's health. That is, increase in heart rate and both brain activities. In conclusion, I would like to say that violent video games leads to violent behavior in children. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Ahmed. Moving on, next we have on stage Master Rahman of 92, who will be speaking on the topic, food engineering is the way of future.
Good afternoon to one and all. Today, in this momentous occasion, I would like to talk against the topic, food engineering is the way of future. Before getting into my topic, I would like to thank everyone who has given me this golden opportunity. Chemicals are essential for building blocks. All the humans and animals, plants consist of a small matter of chemical in it. Foods are made up of chemicals such as carbohydrate, proteins, fats in it. But they are all in a small kind. As we all know that food engineering is a branch of chemical engineering, it is meant that it is preserved food and to make it into a new structure at relatively high rates and in a good taste. Most of them will be liking it. But have you ever thought of the hidden problems, but you do not know the hidden problems behind the processing of food? Like every coin has two sides, food processing has two sides, and I would like to tell the dark side. The food that we eat, which are chemicalized, we are harmless and more often and desirable for it. The experiments fed on animals shows us that it has added salt, added sugar and fat in it. But the food on the thread that we get is, it makes our body in a diseased manner. Like we get heart diseases, cancer and even type 2 diabetics and other more diseases. The another threat is that it makes our body weak. So many of them will be thinking that it has taste, but that makes us weak. But it's wrong. And also it loses its nutrients, like moil and polished rice loses in nutrients and vitamins and iron in it. The white flour has its white loss because of the processing of food. Before concluding my speech, I would like to say, the food can destroy the world and also it can heal it, but the change starts from you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rasin. Now let's listen to Master Umair of 93, who would be speaking on the topic, is knowledge more important than wisdom?
Good afternoon to one and all. Is knowledge more important than wisdom? Knowledge is a rule and wisdom is a craft in which the tool is used and most probably the craft. Is knowledge more important than wisdom? No. Knowledge is a tool and wisdom is a craft in which the tool used and most probably the craft also. Many people mistake knowledge for wisdom because they are intimately related, and this is unfortunate because they are quite different in an important way. Knowledge is the accumulation of facts and information. Wisdom is a synthesis of knowledge and experiences into insights that depends one understanding of relationship and meaning of life. Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers, was rightly quoted by Alfred Lord. Now, I will be doing the clash, wisdom versus knowledge. Knowledge is a collection of facts as gathered through logical thoughts and empirically gathered evidence. Wisdom is the ability to distinguish between that which we know, that which we don't know. I asked my friend if he thought wisdom or knowledge is more important. Wisdom to have experience and good judgment. Knowledge is to have facts and information. From the information I got, they are not the same thing. Knowledge is to have facts, something that you know, something that you don't know. Wisdom is better than knowledge because you need it to make good choices in life. Knowledge is knowing of something that you know, that you don't know. Knowledge is knowing of something, the technical or physicality. While wisdom is having to know how to utilize the knowledge in a useful manner. A person can be very knowledgeable in his or her area, but has no idea what to do with the knowledge. I conclude my speech with the thought of John Patrick. Pain makes man think, thought makes man wise, wisdom makes life enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you, Umair, for your enlightening words. Our next speaker is Master Abhinav of 93, who would be speaking on the topic negative implications of Facebook.
like connecting one with friends, it may also have many negative effects that could be irreversible. The three main negative effects that could arise from using Facebook is loss of sleep, depression, and putting one in a negative, dangerous situation. At a quick glance, Facebook may be an intriguing and enjoyable website, but the addictions that arise from using Facebook, these effects could be life-changing, easy to cope with, unhealthy, etc. A study found that more time spent on internet will is found with a decrease of communication. Overusage of Facebook will ruin your life. Never share your personal details on Facebook. Students who often use Facebook have a low rate of reading, studying, etc. and they get angry on parents if they request not to look on Facebook or any other social networking sites for a long time. If we look Facebook or any other social networking sites for a long time, our head will get heated, eyes will get spoiled, and we have to put a specs for seeing. To avoid this, keep timings to see mobile phones, etc. I would like to conclude my speech by saying, as artificial intelligence is coming more faster to kill mankind, beware. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Are almost always great simplifiers who can cut through argument, debate, and doubt to offer a solution everybody can understand. Now to move on further, I call on stage Master Videography of 94 who will be speaking on the topic organic food tastes better.
Hi everyone. Hi. Today I'm going to talk about the topic organic food tastes better. So have you ever noticed that some of the fruits and vegetables which you had in your childhood doesn't have the same taste which they had in the past? And why is this happening? Apples were crispy and tasty. They were juicy. Now they are dry and mealy. Carrots have an odd bitter taste. Potatoes are practically tasteless. And watermelons are it is not sweet. Why? I'm going to tell you the reason. It is because you may think that it is because of your change in your taste buds. As you got older and older, your taste buds keep on changing. But that's not the reality. The reality is that it is the food which you're eating that has changed. It wasn't long time ago when the produce was grown without the use of fertilizers, antibiotics and genetic modification. You could trust the vegetables, oranges, fruits, pears which you bought from the grocery store to be fresh and taste good. It was fresh and it tasted good. But nowadays, you might be lucky if you get home some fruits or vegetables which at least taste tolerable. Why is this scenario happening in our world? Our governments keep on urging us to eat more fruits and vegetables. And they have given the approval to spray. And they have given the approval to spray poison in this produce while it is still in the field. Fresh produce tastes so different because of the spraying of poison in these produces. So fresh produces taste so different and most of the people don't eat them. And that's why
most of the people don't eat fruits and vegetables in today's life. And organic fruits and vegetables is only the answer to all these problems. And free from poisons and genetic modification, which alters the taste of this food, and it can cause irreparable harm to our bodies. Organic food tastes the way fruits and vegetables were meant to taste. They taste the way fruits and vegetables were meant to taste. And most of the people are experiencing the difference in today's world. Around 70% of the people who purchase organic fruits and vegetables every now and then, and 25% purchase organic consumes every single week. And most of the families in foreign countries have signed up for the delivery of organic consume at their doorstep. So friends, you have many places, you have lots and lots of places where you can get organic food. So you can shop to find good prices, to experience the incredible taste of these natural foods, to experience this incredible taste of the natural foods the way nature intended them to be. So friends, organic eating is not a trend, it is a return towards tradition. Thank you.
Thank you, Nitin. Now we have on stage Master Ganesh Ahmed before to speak on the topic, what it means to be a hero.
A hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. This quotation has been and will always be in my thoughts, as this is a very beautiful definition for the word hero. It was quoted by America's one of the most renowned authors, Joseph Campbell. Respected teacher and my dear audience. Sorry? Okay, respected audience. Today, I'll stand before you to speak a few words on the topic. What does being a hero mean to you? For me, being a hero doesn't mean being a chota bheem, coming with the background music, having lettuce hitting the villain, or anything like that. Or Thor coming with his hammer, flying to the villain, and making thunder, or anything like that. For me, being a hero means being a true role model for others. Being a man who can care. Being a man who can how a villain does. The parents, our parents, are actually great heroes. I'm convinced that the great heroes are those doing their duties in the plight of domestic affairs. My father, he used to narrate me many stories regarding great heroes who actually changed the world. But my hero, my greatest hero is none other than my father himself. Actually, parents are heroes, but they lack the confidence to save their children. Hey, grow, look at us and grow. If this lack of confidence gets out from this world, the world is going to be a better place. May we all be blessed with truly inspirational parents. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ganesh. Next in line, may I invite Master Yasin of 9B5 to speak on the topic.
Gender inequality is a universal issue. Women want equal pay. They want to have control and decide what they want to do with their own body. Without women in the workplace, our economic growth would have not reached the extent it needs to grow. Once our world fought slavery. It was a universal issue, mainly in Africa. It was not just fought by the slaves. It was fought by the world and the people who had goodwill in them. They united and brought it to an end. Just like that, they stopped racism, colonialism, and even the apartheid system. We need to fight for gender
have gone from being authentic to manufactured. One of India can produce inspirational and motivational shows like Extreme Makeover Home Edition and The Amazing Race, where people challenge each other for treasure hunt and how less fortunate people can improve their standard of living. Today's reality TV shows give its stars so much instant influence that you don't even have to wait until the next morning to become an overnight success. The result, the death of 2017 Love Island contestant Mike Dallas, who committed suicide because of being under the pressures of fame. Through this, everyone should know that challenges are what makes life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Finally, whatever good or bad may have been said about reality shows, one thing is for sure: they are hugely popular. Now, you all are here to witness how much reality IISJ Talk Show has, which is truly authentic. Until next time, I am Sayyid Jamal.
Thank you, Jamal. May I now call on stage Master Fakhruddin of Class 96 to speak on the topic, Human Rights Must Be Respected.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys? I think you guys know the topic for which I'm speaking. If you don't know, it's human rights. Human rights are as old as human civilizations, but their use and relevance have been well defined during the recent years. It has gathered more importance since post-Second World War period, particularly after the United Nations Declarations of Human Rights in 1948. There is no precise definition for human rights. Oxford Power Dictionary defines human rights as basic freedom which everyone should have. Human rights basically emerge out of the human needs and capabilities. In simple language, human rights are meant for human beings, to satisfy our basic needs. In a broader sense, human rights are those rights in which every man and woman inhabiting any part of the world should be deemed entitled by virtue of being born as a human being. In other words, human rights are essential for the dignificance. They are essential for the dignificance and a decent human living, as well as human existence, etiquette, development, and human personality. Human rights are held by all human beings, and human rights exist as long as human beings exist. They are inalienable and cannot be separated. Precisely, human rights imply availability of such conditions which enables in the fullest development and realization of the characteristics which nature has bestowed him/her with as a human being. They ensure the fame and the name of human beings, of people living everywhere around the world, inhabiting any part of the world as a human being.
Human being, as a social being, lives in a group, in a society. As an individual, he has right to life and decent living. Human beings, as a social being, also has other types of rights like right to freedom, right in belief, right in expressing his thoughts, right in faith, and of course, right to move freely. Precisely, human rights are meant for human beings. They can express their thoughts by human rights. Human rights are also for the need of man. Human rights are also for the people inhabiting any part of the world. But they have one thing, a right for freedom, right for expressing their thoughts, right in belief, and right in faith. I would like to conclude my speech by saying a famous thought said by someone. We declare human rights are for all of us, all the time, whoever or wherever we are from, no matter our class, our opinion, our gender orientation. Assalamu alaikum.
Different ideas. We would now witness Master Christo of 96 sharing his exuberant thoughts on the topic voting should be compulsory.
Today I am going to speak on the topic voting should be made compulsory or not. First of all, let me ask a question to you guys. What is voting? Voting is a basic process which keeps a nation's governance system run. So, by voting, we can choose our own representatives in our own government. A government implies laws which is benefits for its countries, for its nation's benefit. Compulsory voting is a process where the citizens of the country should register and vote, and if they don't vote, they will get penalties for that. So we can take an example of three countries: China, Netherlands, and India. First of all, I'll talk about Netherlands. The country Netherlands implemented compulsory voting in 1968 and 1993. People protested for that, and the total voting percentage was 92 to 96%. And the other citizens of the country protested by not voting for it, and the government implied penalties for it. As of Netherlands, when they cancelled compulsory voting, the voting percentage decreased to 50 to 63%. See the difference. Voting is a process by which a citizen of its own country can vote by their wish. When Netherlands implied compulsory voting, the people was forced or compelled to vote for the representative they don't like. About China, one of the democracies in the world. No, we can't call China as a democracy because China is only allowing the parties of CCP, Chinese Communist Party, Chinese Communist parties to participate. 11 parties associated with Chinese Communist parties are only allowed to participate in the election. What about India, our own country? Our own country, USA and Australia are some of the countries which follows complete democracies in the world, or complete UAF. UAF, Universal Adult Franchise. Universal Adult Franchise says he or she who are allowed to vote, they can vote according to their wish. If they don't want to vote. So let me conclude my speech that compulsory voting should not be prohibited because this voting process is not acceptable by many people. Thank you and have a nice day.
The next speaker on stage, I invite Master Ahmed from 97, who who will be speaking on the topic, love is far more powerful than hate.
Goodness is stronger than evil. Light is stronger than darkness. Life is stronger than death. Love is stronger than hate. Hi everyone. It's Ramadan, I forgot. Astaghfirullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today I'm going to speak on the topic, love is far more powerful than hate. What is love? I feel like I don't need to explain because you guys sitting out there knows better than me. What is hate? Hate is something that makes a person more arrogant, more rude, etc. A door, in order to be closed, has to be opened first. Similarly, in order to hate someone, you have to love them first. We all might have heard the quote, it takes years to build and a moment to ruin. Similarly, it takes something special to love someone, but at the same time, it takes any silly reason to hate someone. Am I right? I think you don't have experience. Okay, love is the most beautiful and powerful feeling gifted by God to mankind. Okay, so I request all of you to close your eyes and imagine. You have a friend, okay, it's not imaginary, but still. You have a friend and you love him a lot. You're great friends. One day, due to some reason, you fight with each other. Even though you hate that boy, you keep regular tabs on his life. For example, whom his new friends are, who he talks to, etc. And this has an adverse effect on your life. You don't have time to concentrate on your studies or do something productive because your whole life is now monitoring that child who doesn't care about you anymore. Okay, wait. Kerala, God's own country, or my own state, or yours own state, is known for religious conflicts and violence. Let us go back to those days of flood and disaster in Kerala. Kerala strived together as a fraternity to overcome the catastrophic flood. Citizens showed tremendous love and helped each other as they bounced back from this great tragedy. In such a situation, if people had hesitated to help each other on the basis of caste, religion, position, or hatred, a whole state could have been wiped out. Thus, Kerala proved that love can withstand any disaster and unify humanity. Life is short. We all have to leave this world one day. So let's make this short life of ours an enjoyable one, a memorable one, and I believe that is possible only and only if we. When I say we, it doesn't mean that only the person standing in this podium and you guys sitting out there. When I say we, I mean each and every single person in today's society. Each and every person in today's humanity, the whole mankind has to spread love among ourselves so that we can make this life a memorable one. Just like how Alan Walker says in his song, we live, we love, we lie. I see that most of you are tired because you are not making any noises. Maybe just because you heard too much lectures or you're fasting. So I'm coming to the end of my speech by talking about a great personality. A person who donated $1.5 billion to Palestinian child for Ramadan. A person who constantly gives blood to poor people who suffer from diseases. He is a true role model and a messenger of love and a person who stops hate. I would like to conclude my speech by quoting the words of this man, this myth, this legend, Cristiano Ronaldo. Your love makes me strong. Your hatred makes me unstoppable. Thank you and have a lovely day.
May I have the privilege to invite our next speaker, Sunil. He is from 97, who would be speaking on the topic Media is affecting our self-esteem.
Social media is training us to compare what we are instead of appreciating what we have. No wonder why everyone is depressed in social media. A very good afternoon, one and all who are present here. Social media has been linked to high levels of envy, anxiety, depression, loneliness, and decreased social skills. The posts in social media are mostly positive and celebratory. Meaning for this, everyone you know are in great levels, taking 5-star vacation and living your dream life. You may think that these all are very good, but this might be having a very bad impact in your life. German study in a survey showed that men ranging from 28 to 73 who are active users in social media and found that 60% of the people reported that it affected their self-esteem in a very bad manner. 51% reported that it affected their relationship in a negative manner, and 80% reported that it affected their it is easier to deceive people through social media. It seems that social media is making a paradox effort, giving off illusions of many ideas, while it is harder to find viable options. Could it be that our highly connected world has just become disconnected? Dr. Jennifer Rhodes, a well-renowned psychologist, in an interview reported that one of her clients was lacking the skill to talk in person than they did in social media. Social media has been manipulating us in many ways. They are damaging our self-esteem to the fullest. It also affects how attractive or popular you are. If you are popular, you have everybody, and if you're not, you have nobody. I'd like to conclude my speech by saying, respect yourself and others respect you. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
I would like to call on stage Mujib Sayyid of 98 to speak on the topic Helicopter Parents are damaging their children.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everyone. Today I stand here to talk on the topic helicopter parents are damaging their children. You heard me right, helicopter parents. Seems like funny. Are our parents hovering over heads like a helicopter? Yes, but it is the most serious matter spreading all over the world. Who are they? They are the moms and dads who are overprotective or excessively invested on the life of their child. They become so protective that they tend to solve their problems. As a result, their child end up with incapable of making decisions for themselves. They may not entirely be aware of how they are depriving their child the most common ability to self-motivate. Being 100% focused on the life of your child may not bring benefits. Although more and more researchers are highlighting the negative effects. First is depression. When parents become too intrusive on the life of their child, it may signal to the child that what he does is never perfect. This can lead to depression for some child. They think what they do is never perfect. Second is lack of confidence. I found that children of helicopter parents were less engaged in their studies. Researchers have also found that decreased self-worth and poor behavior was interlinked.
but increased love and affection did nothing to come back to the child. Third is dependency issue. Children can get too dependent to their parents when they are grown up by helicopter parents. When child fails and try again, that is the most important part of growing up. So allow them to test their limits, to empower themselves through independence learning. Parents' job is to guide them how to deal with problems, not to solve. They may not get ready child to face the problems in the future. I conclude my speech by a statement that there is a time you have to cut the branches of your trees and let your child fry for their branches. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a warm morning to everyone present here. Today I'm speaking on the topic internet crime. Crime, doesn't this sound dangerous or serious? Yes, it is. I'll explain this. Crime is a common word that we have always heard in this globalization era. Crime and criminality have been associated with man since long time ago. There are a lot of strategies, practices by different countries to contend with crime. It is to be said that a country with high index of crime cannot grow or develop well. This is because crime is the direct opposite of development. In addition, there are a lot of crimes that are going on now, which are internet crimes, right? Hate crimes, telemarketing fraud, and credit card account thefts, etc. In simple words, internet crime can be defined as a crime that involves a computer or a network. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ibrahim. So here we come to the close of the discourses. A huge round of applause to all the communicators.
Good afternoon to all. I, IISJ of Class 9, wish to convey immense gratitude to all the participants of the IISJ Talk Show. First and foremost, I thank respected HM, beloved teachers of 9 to 12 block, and my dear friends. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the teachers who has organized this event. I also thank the English department for conducting such a great event. This brings the students to eliminate the stage power. Last but not least, I thank you, my friends, for your cooperation in making this function a resounding success. Finally, I'll leave you with a quote. If it is important to you, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse. Thank you.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive?